Good afternoon, people that watch videos. I want to have a little conversation, and that is in regards to the Volks 5-Star Stories kits. And today I'm starting the Ojarskilus kit. And basically, though, I wanted to say that, I've done several of these kits now. I've watched videos on other people doing these kits, and I don't fucking get people bitching about these goddamn kits, okay? So basically, I guess I'm kind of sympathetic. Like, I've had some friends that have said, this has stressed them out, I guess, and that I understand if it's not what you want, because this is not a Gundam kit. This is a Volks 5-Star Stories kit. So my friends, however, they have experience on a lot of stuff that have said this, so I can't fault them on this, because they've done the Machine Kriegers or whatever the hell they're called, and the other different model kits, and they've done car kits, and they know the difference between Bandai and not Bandai. So credit where credit's due. And the ones who have complained that are my friends, it's just genuinely a situation where it's just not their cup of tea. Fair. This might not be your cup of tea. Fair. This is not Bandai. Definitely. Because the thing with Bandai is a snap model kit that you can cut the parts out and just click them together like Legos. They're basically Legos that you gotta cut out if that's all you want out of them. If you want more out of them, obviously there's a whole community that airbrushes and shit and does all that cool stuff, and I find myself among them. But there's nothing wrong with doing a Bandai kit and just snapping it together and calling it a day, and that's cool. And sometimes there's some people that's all they're there for, because that relaxes them. Anything beyond that stresses them out. So at that point, we're in valid complaint territory. I don't even call it a complaint. It's just an opinion. It's a valid opinion territory. They're just saying this isn't for them. However, I've seen a lot of videos and reviews and talk in the Reddit community bitching about these, and I just want to fucking smack people sometimes, because this is the difference between this is not a Bandai, and what that means by that is, to do these kits, you do need to do some adjusting. You need to do some sanding. You need to do some gluing. They are not going to go fully assemble without some adhesive of some sort. I tend to be in the camp of super glue. That much is true. I will, however, disagree with my friends on some things about this, and that my friends don't consider these a posable kit. I'm going to disagree so far. I got several up there on my shelf right now that are definitely posable. I can move anything that isn't glued down, and what I mean by that is I glued the feet to a base because I wanted to display it. Beyond that, the kit kept its posability. So I did them that way. And I don't think I'm special. I'm not that great. I'm okay. I've done some stuff. I'm an average builder of model kits. But I had that understanding. I guess maybe just having the warning from my friends of hey, this is going to be tricky, was all I needed to be okay, I know what to get into with this, and I had a good time from the rip. I started with the 144 scale Neptune, which the 144 are even trickier. They're smaller and they're fidgetier. This is my first 1/100, by the way, and apparently these are easier to hop into. Cool, whatever. I mean, that's not... Anyway, I digress. I knew to expect that coming into this, so I was cool with it. But it's I still see people saying shit about it's a bad kit or it's not a well-made kit. Yes, the fuck it is. It's amazingly good sculpting. I didn't have any problems with the kit, with parts not being well sculpted or uniform or anything like that would make an end result look shitty. That's the thing. If you put in the work in it, they look amazing. In my opinion, they look better than Gunpla in some aspects. Now, that's a really relative term, because you have perfect great Gundams that probably would be a step above this as far as complexity and final result, blah blah blah. But definitely the people who hate on these, they talk about how they're impossible to put together and shit. Shut the fuck up. No, they're not. They're a different animal. They are a different breed. And I'm making this video right now. I just need to get this off my chest, because like I'm tired of seeing this shit. I'm tired of hearing it in Reddit. Shut up. Like, if you can't handle it, fine, because it's not for everybody. But like, don't sit here and talk shit like you know something because you think that this is not possible to build without being a grenade. No, that's stupid. Just shut up. So now I've gotten the feelings off of my chest. So yeah, back to what we're doing here today. I'm starting my first 100 because I cut my teeth on the trickier ones, the 144. So Papa deserves a vacation, so we're gonna do the 100s this time. Essentially, yeah, now here's my point of view on it. It's basically, like I said, it's a model kit. You're gonna have to glue things together. You're more than likely gonna want to paint them. However, I will say color separation on the parts is pretty incredible. As far as like the stuff, what I will probably do for some of the inner frame things, because like there's a lot of intricacy in the inner frame and shit, I may very well like do some different shades of metal paint on them to just, I don't know, like, I guess I'm gonna be one of those dummies that's like that Society of Hidden Paint subreddit, and like I'm gonna paint a thing even though you're not gonna see it, but like I have so much love for that kind of detail and shit. So whatever, you know, we'll just hop into that and do stuff that way. Maybe, more than likely, at least the visible parts of the mechanical stuff, because that's part of the appeal of this shit to me, is to do that. But other things I want to tell you about is, like, if you haven't heard all the stupid bullshit, and I didn't have to like deprogram you from dumb things that people say, is like the manuals that come with these things are like the fucking Sears catalogs when we were kids and we used to like deliver action figures and shit. It's hefty. It's hefty. It's full of information that is not in my native language, but that's not a problem, damn it. But it's got a bunch of full color illustrations and stuff that I'm probably gonna save and do something with, because this shit is just baller. Like, look at these pictures. They're fucking full color. You don't get that out of a Banzai manual, man. Anyway, like I said, it's not a problem. It is entirely in Japanese, pretty much, except for a couple little things. They have this amazing tool on your smartphone if you live in 2022 called Google Translate. And in my personal experience, it actually does a pretty good job now of translating. Even like, this is the front page of like the story stuff. And man, I love the fucking lore of any kind of stuff like this. So like, this tells you all about like whose Mortarhead it is, because that's what they call the suits in this universe and stuff. And then because they do give a shit. That's the other thing too, is whoever built this stuff in complaint probably didn't bother to hit Google Translate on this page that literally tells you all of the shit I just fucking told you. Talking about like how to make the bottles, how you gotta glue them, instructions for like, they even tell you like, here's the specific colors of paint that you may want to use. Like, there's so much information here to know. Like, I think I gotta go back on Translate. I think these may be paint ratios and stuff, but like, all this fucking information's here. Baller. So like, if you take the time to read the instructions, there's no surprises here anyway. Like, even if this is your first like big boy model kit or whatever you want to fucking call it. But yeah, it's just, you take your time on these things. You sand things, like you'll cut the part out. You're gonna kind of like try to click it together manually to see how it fits together. You might have to do a little sanding here to make sure that there's not a gap. There were a couple pieces on my other ones that I had to do a little bit of sanding to make sure there wasn't a visible gap before I glued it together. Not a problem. You could probably use other mediums too, like what do you call it? The fucking model cement would probably be fine to use this if you really wanted to hide the seams. A lot of people airbrush these. I don't know that I really want to personally. I don't know. I personally just really like the colorness. There will be some actually that I will paint, because I've got some plans for the Viola and Sperter, I think, the River Dragon or whatever the hell it's called. I'm gonna probably do them as customs, but this Auge or schools, I'm gonna keep these colors because I really like it as is. I will do some, like, here, look, finally a model that speaks to me, because I have been painting the eyes of my 144 scales like forever. And these, they tell you like, hey, paint the eyeballs fluorescent pink. Guess what, bud? I'm gonna, because I already do that stuff anyway. And then there's like alternate face masks and stuff for them too. And then like, it shows you in the pictures like what it would look like with and without the little jaw. I don't know. I want to read the bio and see if maybe it tells me something about why one version has a Jay Leno jaw and then the other version doesn't. I don't remember off the top of my head. I've only read like the first 2 books of the manga personally. But yeah, it's complex, but I see that as a plus, not a minus. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this kit. I guess I don't want to do a big long video with this, because I've done so many big long videos and it turns into a bit of a drag when it comes to the editing process. So what I'll do is I'll just make them into a series, and this is just, we're gonna call this your introduction to a Volks 5-star stories kit. First video from someone who's not an idiot and knows things about the model, so I can tell you how to build this and be happy with it. Also, you can watch my video, and if you see it and you're like, man, this looks like some shit I don't want to do, I warned you, and you know, and then you're not going to be someone bummed out that you spent a god-awful amount on these kits, because they are a little pricey. So you don't spend a bunch of money on these kits and then end up just fucking burnt. I'll try to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen to you. But you know, if you're down with a little bit of TLC, if you're down with a little bit of work, you end up with a badass as shit robot that don't take no guff. Like this one, he sheds his little cape wings off, and it's baller. And they come with multiple swords. They come with like beam sabers, and then just straight up fucking katanas. I don't know why. It was probably in the book that I just read too quick and didn't pay attention to the details. But yeah, shit's fuck cool. There it is. It's katana or beam saber. I don't know which one I'll use yet. I don't care that much either. Anyway, this is the first video on this subject, and then I'll make another video and then another video until the kit's done. So if that's what you want to see, it'll be here. Thanks. Bye.